Well, hi! Today I'm going in my garden because it's morning and I'm going to go make tea. I make mint tea every day. But now that we're getting at the end of summer, my mint's going to start to slow down as it grows. It's going to thin down. This is some orange mint growing here. There's some chocolate mint and strawberry mint growing over here. But as the weather cools, and here it will be a couple months, the mint will become sparse and I may not have enough to make mint tea every day. So this is the time of year that I start to pick enough mint to have for the day and also store it for a rainy day. So I'm going to show you how I do it. Maybe I'll give you some ideas and maybe it won't. That's okay. But this is the way I do it and it works good for me. So let's go pick some mint. Today I'm going to do spearmint. That's Gary's favorite. He likes peppermint too. But today I'm going to do spearmint, and this is spearmint that's growing all over the ground here. I know that people say don't let your mint grow on the ground. I'll tell you, it's not that hard to get rid of if you ended up with too much mint. You could take like a garden fork and it will rip right out. But I don't want to rip it all out. We use a lot of spearmint and we're dry here, so it's really not going to get out of control. This is fine. I could easily take it all out if I wanted to, but I don't want to take it out. But today I'm going to pick some mint, and I'm going to use spearmint, and hopefully I won't get stung by a bee because the bees are all over it. I think I've picked enough. Now let's go get some lemon verbena. I'll try to carry you with me, see if this works. This is lemon verbena, and I don't need that much. That's going to be more than enough. I even have enough to freeze some and use some today. So that's lemon verbena. Now, all I need is a little bit of stevia, and we're in business. Now come with me, and let's go get some stevia. Gary likes stevia in his mint tea because it gives a slight sweetness. So here's my stevia farm. Look at this. My stevia grows all along with my ginger and turmeric. Does really good here. So I have no reason to change it. Don't really need a cutters for stevia. I just need a pinch a bit off. And that's all I need. The leaves are so sweet, you don't need that much. All I'm trying to do is just get a little hint of sweetness. Just a little hint. I'm not trying to make it really sweet like sugar, just a hint. So I think we're good. Now let's go in the house, and I'm going to show you how I have mint for a rainy day. Really cold weather. Let's go in the house. Hi y'all, well now we're back in the house, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to save mint. So I'm going to have mint all through the fall, all through the winter, and until the mint grows back. So I have picked my mint and I have dried my mint. And it doesn't have to be super dry. And if you're in a hurry after you wash it, you can pack it any way you want. You can pack it when it's still wet, or you can pack it when it's dry. But what I do is I soak it first, I bring it in, and I put it in a colander, and I wash it real good. I don't want any bugs or anything on it, just with water. Then I put it in a strainer, and you'll see how I rinse it. I put it in the sink, and I rinse it really, really good. So I make sure that it's all, rinsed out and clean. And after I feel it's rinsed enough, and I don't have to go crazy with it, then I just let it sit for a while. And I want it to sit for a little while, so I make sure that it dries really good. It doesn't have to be super dry. I've actually packed it when it's even wet. I'm going to show you what I do. There's different methods, but this is like the easiest way. So when I make spearmint, this is spearmint I brought in. I like adding a little bit of lemon verbena, and I add in stevia. So I would take off the leaves, okay, and this is stevia that we grow, and this is lemon verbena. if you got the stem in there, it wouldn't matter, because when I make it with the stems too. But to pack it and freeze it, I'm not going to bother with the stems. And then I take the spearmint and I just start taking the leaves off. It's that easy. And don't worry if you leave some of the stems. This is probably the only stuff I don't normally compost. And the reason is I don't want it to grow in all my containers outside. So I end up throwing it away or drying it out really good before I compost it. Because it can grow and I don't want it growing in there. But I remove a whole bunch of the leaves, slide backwards, and you'll see they come right off. See if you slide backwards. And don't worry if you get, the stems in there. It doesn't matter. Now, I make mine using the bullet, which is one of these things. And I fill it up, halfway or whatever. I push it in there, put a little water in there, and I blend it up with a bullet. Or I can use my blender. I know some people don't want pieces in their tea. I don't mind, so I use a bullet. But you could just seep it. I did also remove any of the leaves that were brown, but it won't matter if you did or did not, because that's perfectly fine. This is also some more lemon verbena. That's a long leaf. Smells so good. Now, I personally only like lemon verbena in spearmint. I don't put lemon verbena in my chocolate mint. I don't put it in my peppermint. I can put it in if I make orange mint. That does taste good. But I don't want my chocolate to smell like lemon, so I don't use it in my lemon. So right now I'm only showing you how I pack the spearmint. And there is one other thing I don't see in here. And that is my moringa. Since I have a moringa tree, there it is. We also use moringa in our tea. Now, most of you probably don't have moringas, so don't worry about it. It's just that it's so incredibly healthy that I add that into our tea, but you don't have to. Since the moringa tree can go semi-dormant during the winter, I'm going to add that in there too. What happens with the mint is if you're in a really cold area, mint will go dormant. It can even look like it died. So that's why I'm doing this for the winter and, for the fall and winter and early spring. Generally, the mint comes back in the spring. Now here in our winter, it will depend. If we have a cold winter, then it'll die back and you'll just get a few leaves. We still always have something growing, but we'll just get a few leaves. But you never know. You don't know. So I don't want to take any chances because I really do like making my mint. And I'll put a link to how I make my mint tea, because everybody's got their own way and I've got my own way. But that's how easy it is. You're just going to shred it. I think we've done enough. I can show you how, because I've got more here and I can do that later. The simplest way is to put it in any bag. If you want to get these bags, these are the fold top bags. They're the cheapest. They're the absolute cheapest you can buy in the store. So you would put a bunch in the bag and a few lemon verbena like that and some stevia and some moringa, and you put that in there. Now you can either put a twisty on this, or you could just twist it and fold it up like this and put it in the freezer. That's all. Otherwise, if you want to spend more money, you can use a Ziploc. These are cheap too, but these are really cheap. Sometimes you get like 300 for $2 or $3. So I go with these because, I take the whole thing out. I use the whole thing at one time, and then I throw the plastic bag away. But if you want, you can use a Ziploc, or you can pack up a whole bunch of these and then put them in a Ziploc, and that will keep it, extra secure in the freezer. So there's a lot of different ways you can do that. See, here's one that came out of the freezer, and I put a little bread tie on top. And what I do with this is I would simply just take the whole thing, open it up, drop it in here, and then put this with some water in there, put it on my bullet, and then pour it in my teapot with the strainer. So it is being strained, but it's going through the strainer on my teapot. But I'm getting some of the nutrients as well as a little bit of the greens in there going through the strainer. And that's what we like. Gives me a lot of energy. It also keeps me calm, somewhat. So that's how we do it. The other way you can do it is when you do make your tea and you have extra in the teapot, you can put it in a container of your choice and you can freeze it. The thing is, I don't think I want to freeze like 100 of these to have all winter. This would take up a lot of room, and ice cubes can sometimes get kind of freezer burned. This is really good to do daily. I actually, when I make a big teapot, I keep adding water in, and at the end of the day, if there's a lot left, I throw it in, the rest of it I pour it into a couple containers. So Gary likes in the morning when he does his rounds and stuff, he just takes an ice cube, pops it out of here, puts it in his great big coffee cup he's got with the lid, he fills it up with water, and he's got his mint first thing in the morning, even before I make it. But that is how easy it is. And you freeze them and you will have it all winter. Or a lot of times I do this, the reason I've got this is I tend to pick too much. So like with this, I'm going to go make some mint tea right now, and I've got way too much. I'm going to end up freezing a bunch, but I'm going to take some lemon verbena and my moringa, and the rest of it, I'm going to freeze the rest of it because I've already washed it. And that's, you know, put some water in here and I am good to go. So that is how I'm going to have my mint tea all winter long until the mint starts to grow again. It looks like I've got too much in the yard, like, oh my gosh, it's taking over the yard. But when it dies back, it's gone. And then, you know, you've got a few leaves and you can pick through. This way I've got it. I prefer freezing over drying. If you want to dry it, you have a dehydrator, you want to air dry it, sun dry it, whatever way, more power to you. You do it the way you want. Everybody has their own way. For me, I think it's fresher this way, my opinion. I like the taste better this way. It's just my way. That's the thing. And like I said, I will never tell anybody what to do. Everybody's got their own way, and sometimes their way is better than mine. I know that. We all have our own way. But that's the thing, is this is my way. And I have two ways. I do the ice cubes. I do the ice cubes almost every day. This way, like I said, Gary knows in the morning, he loves his tea first thing in the morning. He grabs the ice cube, one ice cube to a glass of water, and that's plenty. Don't drink it straight. It's really potent. You don't need to drink it straight. I know a lot of people have told me they drank it straight and it was like, oh my gosh. They were like, I don't know if they were wired, but he said it was too much. No. You're making, you know, think of you when you get a little tea bag. You're steeping water. Well, this is quite a bit of tea and it's fresh. It's fresh and it's full of minerals and nutrients and everything. You blend this up, you make a nice sized teapot. You add water to that. And you can add more water as the teapot goes down and you're adding it to your water, because I take a glass, I fill it up with ice, and then I pour some tea in there, and then I top it up with water. So I'm more than tinting the water. I am drinking some tea, but that's the way I drink it. So that's it. So I just wanted to show you how I'm going to do it. This is my way. I'm going to put the rest now in the freezer since I brought this in and already washed it. You know, why would I want to waste it? Even though I've got a whole field outside. I keep cutting it and trimming it back, and I really want to take it out, a lot of it, because it's in my way, because I worry about snakes and stuff in the yard. But at the same time, I don't want to waste it. So one of these days, when I have way too much time on my hands, I will go out there, hopefully, before it dies back, because then I'll feel real bad that I waited that long. And I will go out there and I will pick a bunch, I will wash a bunch, and I will freeze 10, 20 little bags, and then I will know I am set for the winter. Watch, we'll end up having a really hot winter and it won't go dormant at all. And that could happen. You know, I have no idea what the weather's going to be like, but this is how I do it. This is my way. And like I said, if you want to dry it, you know, it's just as, it's good dry. Of course, mint is good dry. You can buy mint dry. So there's certain herbs that you cannot dry for various reasons, and mint is one of them you can dry. So you can dry it. But you know, to me, this is easier. You put the little baggie in your freezer. You've got it to go. It's fresh. It's only going to be in there for what? 3 or 4 months. So it's no big deal. And it's not, they don't take up, it really doesn't take up a lot of freezer space. So that's why I prefer the plastic bags. And when I make the tea and I'm not going to freeze it, I actually don't worry about some of the stems. I even blend up some of the stems because it's going in my teapot with the strainer. And I'm sure most of you have seen that video I've made on how I make it exactly. But see all this now? Oh, there's still some, I just don't want to bother packing up this too many stems. But look at that. This is going to make a really big pot. I'll be sipping this all day when I make it. But that's how easy it is. And again, if you don't want to wait till it dries completely, because I washed this earlier, you can pack it when it's wet. But this is how you can do it, and I guess I would. Look at this. I didn't do this before, but I just did it on video that I started using this bag. I think I will do it this way for many reasons. First of all, it's a double security on holding the little bags in the Ziploc. So I'm going to use the cheap bags, and then I'm going to pack them in a Ziploc. And I can date this if I wanted to, and I can spot this in my freezer, so it shouldn't get lost. So this is the way I'm going to do it now. It's amazing. Sometimes I do a video and I haven't even done something like that before. And while I'm doing the video, all these new things come to me and I end up doing new things during the video. And like I said, this is a new thing because I've been just throwing it in the freezer in little bags. So now I'm going to throw it like maybe 10 of the cheap bags inside one Ziploc, and then I can add more as I run out, or just pack them really good and know what they are. So that's it. That's how I'm going to have my tea, because I'm telling you, my skin is dry, and when I drink mint tea all day, I can feel it on my skin, and it just makes me feel good. All the way around, it makes me feel good, because it's mint from my garden. I know it's organic. I know how it's grown. It's so easy to grow. I will say that the only one I'm going to freeze for the winter and bother with is peppermint and chocolate. I will only pack my peppermint with stevia, and I will pack my chocolate with some stevia. I am probably not going to bother with the orange because Gary said he's not that crazy about the orange, so why take all that time to do the orange? I am going to do the spearmint because that's one of his favorites, which is the one I just did here. And that I will add in lemon verbena so we can alternate. Because with the chocolate and the peppermint, I just don't like the mix. Some people might. And sometimes, I'll tell you what else I do sometimes. When I put it in here and I blend it up, not only do I add in the moringa, sometimes I even drop in a piece of ginger, fresh ginger, and blend it all up, and then pour that into my teapot, and then pour the boiling water over it. So ginger gives it an extra nice taste. I'm not adding ginger to the chocolate, and I'm not adding ginger to the peppermint. The other one I have talked about is the strawberry. We will not be freezing the strawberry. I let the strawberry grow in pots for the bees, because the bees love the flowers and love the smell, but I do not like the taste of strawberry mint tea. I don't think I can doctor that up to taste the way I want it to taste no matter what. So no, I won't be freezing the strawberry. I'll keep it growing in the garden because it smells so good to touch, and you smell your hands and you walk by it and it smells so good. But I'm telling you, I've tried it. We've tried it a couple times. We tried doing things with it, and it really tastes like you're drinking a cup of perfume. And if that is your cup of tea, then you better get yourself some strawberry mint tea. But I don't like it. I don't like the strawberry mint. Okay, so I hope I've given you some ideas. I've even gave myself an extra idea on packing a whole bunch of these little bags and putting them in a Ziploc, and I can mark it. because this will be easier. See, now I can write on here with a Sharpie, and I can write that this is spearmint, and I've got lemon verbena in there. I've got whatever I've got. I can mark it, date it, and write right on here what's in here. I can know that it's got moringa. It's like a green drink. And can you believe this? I actually sit down to do a video and I think of something while I'm doing the video. You know, a lot of you must think, and I'm going to say this, I know it has nothing to do with anything, that some of this stuff is staged, like walking through and finding a hornworm last week. I did not see that. I do not stage anything. I'm a one-take person. I go out there, I do a video, and I put it up, and that's basically it. And there are things I find and think of while I'm doing my videos. I think my mind is racing and thinking of things, and maybe my mind is more open. You know, I don't know. But I really like this idea, so I want to thank you all for having me do this, because you all have given me a new idea as to put my little bags that I normally pack in like this and throw in my freezer. You all have made me sit down and think, so now I will pack these little bags that I freeze in a Ziploc baggie, and I will mark it. So I will know which ones are chocolate, which ones are peppermint, and then which ones are the spearmint. And then I'll know that spearmint I can mark, it's got lemon verbena, it's got some moringa in it. I could add in ginger at the time, but since I have ginger in the freezer separate, I can always chop a piece off and drop that in if I want. And I can mark down that whatever I've got in there, I've got some stevia. So thank you. So have a wonderful day, and get some of your mint frozen so you have it for the winter. And that's it. And don't forget to eat what you grow, and you can drink it too. Bye-bye, everybody, and thanks. Thanks a lot for everything. Bye-bye.